als je chico sister, jullie als je distrand.
Would you like something to drink?
Water, please. Still water.
Still water, of course.
Welcome, Mr. Addison. Welcome to the Aesthetics. We are here to discuss your abdominal fat reduction surgery. Like with all types of plastic surgeries, there are certain risks that I would like to discuss with you. I didn't quite understand. Great. One of our specialists will shortly arrive to address our communication problem.
Hello, welcome to the Aesthetics. I understand there may have been a small issue with the intake system. I apologize for that. Before we begin, could I confirm your names?
Addiston, Kate, and friends.
Ms. Addison, we've recently encountered instances of patients using incorrect names to obtain earlier appointments. I had no reason to believe that applied to you, however. The system appears to suggest otherwise.
We're here to discuss our options for aesthetic enhancement and optimization, not to evaluate the system behind it.
Great, let's first go over your options. I should mention that we usually don't offer combined consultations as they tend to result in more uniform outcomes.
That's fine. We just don't need any surprises.
Of course. We'll proceed step by step. Perhaps we can start with your priorities.
We're looking for a natural result, something that enhances our individual features. For me, something like more youthful and more refreshed, just a bit more glow.
Understood. A natural, individualized outcome with a focus on rejuvenation and a healthier, more radiant appearance.
Yes, exactly.
So for the upper blepharoplasty with crease formation, we generally differentiate between non-incisional and incisional techniques. The non-incisional method, often incisional technique, is less invasive, shorter recovery, but the result can be less permanent, particularly in patients with pre-opinotic fat. The incisional method allows us to remove excess skin and, if necessary, a small amount of fat. It provides a more stable crease and better control over height and symmetry. Swelling typically resolves over 2 to 4 weeks. We recommend cooling packs for the duration of the swelling and not much more.
And what method do you recommend?
That depends on your individual expectations. I generally prefer the laser-assisted approach, as it provides me with better control over the price, but of course that price has to be a bit higher because of that.
Of course. Of course. No visible scarring?
Scars are placed within the intended crease. Once healed, they are usually not perceptible in normal conditions.
Okay, well, take it.
Next thing, chin contour, slight reduction. For mandibular contouring, specifically genoplasty or reduction of the chin prominence, we would first assess your lateral profile and projection. A conservative reduction can be performed either through bony reshaping or, in some cases, soft tissue adjustment, depending on the underlying structure.
That sounds so minimally invasive.
Buccal fat. Buccal fat pad reduction involves the partial removal of the buccal fat pad through a small intraoral incision. It creates a more defined transition to cheekbone lower face. However, I would approach this conservatively. Excessive removal can lead to hollow and natural fat decreases with age.
That's fine. We can always add implants if needed.
Great. That sounds like we've developed a plan to begin our journey with. Do you have any questions regarding potential complications? Why are there never any questions? Would you like me to outline potential combinations, or would you prefer to evaluate each procedure independently? No?
One question.
Yes?
What is your opinion on keratoplasty?
I'm sorry, but in what context?
I've heard it changes your eye color if something goes wrong.
Keratoplasty is a transplant procedure which is not intended for aesthetic purposes. If you're interested, we can talk about SLT laser procedures for iris depigmentation, but I'm not sure whether you want pigmentary glaucoma.
No, I want keratoplasty.
I'm sorry, but that's not something I can offer you here.
I wonder whether you can offer anything we ask for if your colleagues haven't even managed to bring the water we ordered. And we haven't even started talking about rhinoplasty yet.
I assume that was implied.
You know you're playing with our trust, don't you? Come on. Give me something.
Of course. If your priority is a natural, refreshed appearance, we can approach this on multiple levels. In terms of skin quality and overall radiance, non-surgical modalities are often underestimated. These include fractional laser resurfacing for texture and fine lines, radiofrequency-based tightening for collagen stimulation, and injectable treatments for dynamic skin lines and boosters to improve elasticity.
Come on, give me more!
We can also combine these with energy-based devices to improve tone and firmness without altering your underlying features. The key, layering. Small controlled interventions that cumulatively produce a refined natural result.
What if our goal isn't elasticity, but to become more visually algorithm-friendly?
Oh, in that case, elasticity and algorithm friendliness often go hand in hand.
Whatever. I guess we have made the decision to go with whatever you recommend to us.
Would you like to hear my personal opinion?
Well, yeah.
I would advise you to stay as you are. You're already very beautiful.
Well, that doesn't really help me if a stranger tells me that.
I'm sorry. That's all I can offer you.
By the way, when will the doctor come in?
I am your doctor, Dr. Park Min-jae.
In a clinic in Seoul by the coffee shop line lives a doc with a license and a very sharp mind. Got a scalpel so shiny, a diploma that pops, but he's famous in the city for the surgeries he stops. Hey! He's the ethically correct Korean doc. If you're already cute, he'll just check the clock. Says, why fix a frame that's already art? I prescribe more snacks and a kinder heart. He's the ethically correct Korean doc. Gives your selfie dreams a gentle shock. If you're already gorgeous, I refuse the knife. Go spend that money on a better life.
True refinement doesn't begin with change, but it begins with understanding, precision, honesty, and restraint. Individualized consultation for medically indicated care only. Dr. Park Min-jae, Ethics over Aesthetics.